Would you have any advice for older managers that might be struggling with working with young adults?
Well, I think I said it before, get to understand them. You don't have to be like them, and a lot of people try to do that. Even though I am a septuagenarian, I still wear my Jerry Garcia tie, for example, but I don't expect to be like a 20-year-old, but I do understand them.
You advise reaching out to understand more about the young instead of just assuming that they're not, that they have a lot of negative qualities. Find out some of their good qualities, find out how they work, and then work with that.
Yeah, and you say the young as if, see, I consider myself young. We're all in various stages of youth,
right.
But we're all young.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Stan, for your help this afternoon.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
We will now continue with the second question and answer session. Our first call is from California. It is from the Los Angeles Department of Health Services in Los Angeles, California, United States of America.
Okay. Yes. I have recently read that there is a major decrease in the entry of young people into the workforce, meaning there are more older people and fewer younger people due to familial support and continuing education. I'd like to know, Susan, how does this affect the generational gap which you've been dealing with today? Thank you.
What he's talking about is a phenomena that will be worldwide, and that is the aging of the labor force. The world's population is getting older because of various social and other trends, and what that means is, in fact, you will have more and more older workers. And this will impact the workplace in terms of keeping skills updated, as we've talked about, in terms of the need to manage a broader range of age groups. People will no longer leave the workplace at 60 or 65. I mean, they will continue to work long past that age. So it really will mean taking what we're talking about today and broadening it even further to manage somewhat extreme age differences in the workplace. And that will be a challenge, more than I think people realize.
Our next question is from Mexico. It's from the Universidad Tecnológica de Tecámac in the city of Tecámac in the state of Mexico, in the country of Mexico.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenos días.
Currently, a lot of older people see that they've had certain posts in the workplace that they never imagined, and a lot of people already know what they want to reach and what they want to do, and what they ask is, do these older people have a plan, an action plan for their life, and what can I do then to reach my goals? And how can we then reach our goals without having failures in the organization per se?
Let me do this. I'm going to direct that to each of you separately.
Yeah.
Susan, start, and then Stan and Robert, because I'm guessing that each of you has a very different perspective on life plan and goals and what it's going to do to the organization. Susan, what's your response to that?
I think older workers probably, for the most part, have less of a life plan now than young workers do because they don't necessarily see the need for it, which is a mistake. I think that we need to all have a continuing, ongoing development plan that we change and update as the needs warrant. So I think that's an excellent issue that will need to be something that could be usefully explored in the workplace.
What's the plan, Stan?
Well, the thing is that age is, to me, only a three-letter word, and you're only really old when you don't have something that you want to do in the future, that you have another goal, and that you keep resetting that goal. So I think there is an ongoing plan that you develop as you age and as you stay in the workplace.
Robert?
I think, unfortunately, in older generations, they were much more tied to the organization. The tie between the corporation and the employee was a tight coupling. And with the younger generations, you see them looking out for themselves more. And this affects your life plan because you make decisions based on what your skills are, what opportunities there are in other corporations, and you don't necessarily align them with the company's goals that you're working for at the time.
Our next question is from Mexico. It is from the Centro Universitario de Tijuana. It's in the city of Tijuana in the state of Baja California in Mexico.
Buenos días, and good morning to our international community, and I would like to say hi from Tijuana. What attitudes do you recommend for young people when they start working, that already working in a set traditional mindset, and how can we be really agents of change, and how can we all grow together in an integrated workforce in this global reality? Thank you very much.
Let me change the order of response. Robert,
Quiero cambiar aquí el orden.
You're the one coming into the workforce. What do you see in this traditional setting, established setting?
Right. I think, again, it goes with the industry you're in, but certainly in my experience, the technologies we brought to the corporations affect how we are going to be viewed in that company, because we have all this knowledge that it kind of, in a way, scares the older generations to some point, because the whole company is being driven by technology that only these few young people understand. And so I think that we definitely have to come in and appreciate that fact and try to align ourselves with a lot of the goals of the older generations that are actually running the company, and try not to be too brass and upstart.
Stan, what do you think about that? If you have someone like Robert that has all this technological information.
Well, first of all, I go back many years, but I can say this to the younger person today, from an older person. We need you. We need your technological knowledge very, very much. It isn't a situation today where we are asking you to kind of just sit back and listen and learn over a period of time. Here again, we have to work together to be productive and to make our companies grow, our institutions grow. So we're actually looking to you to learn from you, just as we hope that perhaps you can benefit from our experience.
Susan, you agree?
Yes, and briefly I would just say that the most important key for a young person is to remember that old people are to be respected for what they offer. Acknowledge their skills and their offerings, things that you can learn from them. Make sure that they know that you are aware that they have something to offer, but then you can introduce to them the possibility that you have things to teach and things that can benefit the organization.
Our next question is from the Dominican Republic. It's from Codatel. It's in the city of Santiago in La República Dominicana.
What is the positive aspects of the technologies? What are the positive aspects of how the different generations really assimilate the technologies, that is, younger generations versus older generations?
Susan, why don't you start with that one, assimilation of the technology.
Well, obviously, younger generations more quickly assimilate technologies, new technologies, than older generations do. But here is where older generations can really be beneficial. You don't want to become overly reliant on technology. You don't want to be blinded by technology. Sometimes people become too dependent and forget that there are other things that benefit the organization. There are other means of improving productivity. And I think that's where older people can see more clearly the balance needed between technological solutions and other types of solutions.
We've got about 2 minutes. I'd like to ask a closing question, if I may. we talk about the baby boomers, we talk about Generation X, but you said that sometimes a generation is 10 years. Is there a new, younger generation, younger than X, that's going to move into the workplace? And tell us about it, and then Robert, I'm going to ask you, how's it feel to all of a sudden not be the youngest kid on the block and have somebody that you may have to learn from?
Well, there is, in fact, a new generation coming into the workplace right now as we speak, and they will be different. And we will repeat this cycle of Generation X having to move aside, everyone moving up a level, and these dynamics will continue. This is a global, a multicultural, a very, very global-oriented generation, and I think, frankly, that we have a lot to learn from them, and obviously we have a lot to teach them.
Robert, what's your perspective?
For me personally, these people grew up with these technologies. I had to learn these technologies in my early 20s and later in life, and so it's competitive. It creates competition for people my age, because for these people, they've lived with it. They know this stuff, and so they're excited about it, they're passionate, and it ups the ante for me and my generation that we need to keep pace and compete with them. So I view it as a good thing. It's a positive thing to keep us going and keep us motivated.
Stan, technology.
Well, of course, I started at a time in business when we didn't know computers. We had an idea what maybe they would be. We used things like carbon paper. We did a lot of manual activities that are now being done. Email was just something we knew nothing about, and many of the people in my generation today are having in the workplace are having a difficult time coping with these new technologies. And now on my business card I have an email address, and I'm receiving email, and I've had to learn to deal with it and cope with it. So as far as emerging generations, this will always happen.
All right. Thank you very much for your excellent questions, but we've run out of time. We hope that you have enjoyed participating once again in this exciting multilingual and multinational program. We invite you to participate in the 8th video conference of this series, entitled Transforming Visions into Productive Outcomes, Emotional Commitment and Shared Action, on September 3rd, 2002. For additional information on this video conference series, please consult your participant's manual, where you will find the dates and specific topics for each program. You may also visit our website, itc-group.org. On behalf of all of us, thank you for your enthusiastic participation and interest in this program. Thanks, and see you again soon.
It's not very long. It's like 30 seconds.
Translator?
Easier for you.
No, this is Robert's mother.
Oh.
All right.
Dina.
He was great. Yay, Robert. Okay. How long does the promo have to be?
It's like 30 seconds.
Okay. Do I say something like, join us?
Say, in this video conference,
Okay.
Oh, thank
In
you.
this video
about,
session, okay.
you know, whatever.
Can I do it twice and then we'll pick one?
Generational differences.
In this video conference, we'll be discussing intergenerational dynamics.
Robert, is this...
You'll learn about differences.
I'm going to give you. I'm
You'll
going
learn
to
about
give you.
strengths and
a hint, that's the next
weaknesses.
one coming after.
You'll learn about the strengths and weaknesses of the different generations. They did great, didn't they? They were good. I know. I'm trying to think what to say.
She just needs to. Now, is it going to be tied to this program? You can say this. You know, we have a very active interaction with perspectives from.
Are we finished? Am I finished?
Join me in 3 hunky
Am I good to
dudes.
go, or we got another...
Jerry Garcia.
Join me in 3 hunky dudes while we bring you an intergenerational perspective that'll blow your socks off. How's that? Think that'll sell it? All right, I'm going to give this a shot. 30 seconds. Somebody kind of give me a wave when I'm going way over here, if I have any idea.
We'll let you know when we're ready to start.
Yep. Okay. Join. In this video conference, you'll learn about. In this video conference, we'll discuss the challenges and opportunities. In this video conference is. In this video conferencia, we gonna discuss. In this video conference, we will discuss the challenges and opportunities presented by an intergenerational. Wait. In this video conference, we'll discuss the challenges and the opportunities. In this video conference, we'll discuss the challenges and opportunities presented by an intergenerational, a multi-generational workforce. How am I doing? In this video conference, okay. Am I all funky? In this video conference, we'll discuss the challenges and opportunities presented by a multi-generational workforce. So far, so good. I got one sentence. Let's see if we can get one more. You'll hear from individuals who've experienced, individuals from the older and younger generations who will give us their perspective on managing, crap, I'm starting to repeat myself really fast. What am I saying? What did we just do? Does anyone know the topic?
Do you need Nancy to help you?
No, I'm going okay. All right, can we try it? I'm going to try it.
You going to try it?
Yeah.
She said she would like to, she's going to just add lib.
Oh, yeah, we're
She's ready to try it.
we're pretty much ad-libbing now. Tell me when.
Okay, I'll let you know when we're recording, and I'll give you a cue. Okay, we're going to record right now. Right now.
They're okay.
Thank you.
They're not going to bother me.
Okay, ready?
In this video conference, we'll discuss the challenges and opportunities presented by a multi-generational workforce.